Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Boom. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. Today we will be reacting to young boyfriend snaps after catching his former coach in his girlfriend's bedroom. Let's check it out.
If you get caught in another man's house with his wife or his girlfriend and he unalive you, that's nobody's fault but yours. And if you ask me, it was a crime of passion, nothing more, nothing less.
As a man, you should never ever go to a man's place and smash his girl in his bed. That's you playing with your life.
She said she got a boyfriend. I say, so you want to.
All right, before we get started on that situation right there, what they said, I agree with them wholeheartedly. You do not want to get caught at somebody else's house, especially if that guy lived there. You don't want to get caught there, period. But sometimes, the woman might tell you that, hey, he don't live here. This my house, whatever the case may be. So when you're in that situation, when you're dealing with women, period, you just have to be careful. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, always trust your instincts and hey, do what makes sense. Think with your head and not with your other one. You know what I mean? Let's check this thing out.
Another one? Lol. Those words were posted on Facebook by Demetrius Beverly back in 2012. 13 years later, that exact mentality would cost him his life.
He felt that 39-year-old coach in the bed with his wife or girlfriend, whoever she may be. And what did you expect that man to do? He had no motherfucking money for a hotel, bitch. You couldn't in the car? At the, I don't know, at the lake.
What started as a Wednesday night in Birmingham, Alabama, turned into a tragedy that has the entire community talking. Before we dive deep into this story, let me tell you about the three people at the center of it all. First, we have Demetrius Darnell Beverly, 39 years old, but everyone knew him as Coach Meat. He was an assistant football coach at Parker High School, a husband, a father, and someone who was genuinely respected in the Birmingham community. This wasn't just some random guy. Beverly had actually played college football himself at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff from 2003 to 2007. He was part of their 2006 SWAC Western Division Championship team. After his playing days, he came back home and eventually found his calling as a coach, mentoring young men and helping them reach their potential. Then we have Jamia Lawson, 21 years old, a former Parker High School student, and here's where things get interesting. Because Beverly returned to coach at Parker High School in 2020. That means when he started coaching there, Jamia would have been around 16 years old. Now, I'm not saying anything happened back then, but that timeline has a lot of people raising their eyebrows. And finally, we have DeCorlean Keyshawn Robinson, 23 years old, Jamia's boyfriend. This young man was working, trying to provide for his household, and by all accounts, was in a committed relationship with Jamia. Let me take you back to that Facebook post I mentioned at the beginning. Beverly didn't just post that once and forget about it. Over the years, he made several posts that, looking back now, paint a very clear picture of his mindset when it came to relationships. If you got two girls and can't choose between them, either flip a coin or have a bedroom tiebreaker. I'm just saying. And then there was this one. If I can build my perfect girl, she would have my ex-girlfriend's ways, my after-college girl's looks, have a body like the track star I dated, and have the brains of the nerd I cheated off of, my perfect girl. Now, when he posted these things years ago, they probably seemed like harmless jokes to his friends. But after what happened on August 13th, 2025, these posts started circulating again, and people began to see them differently. Not as jokes, but as red flags. Evidence of a man who didn't respect boundaries, who thought it was okay to pursue women who were already in relationships. But Beverly wasn't the only one whose old social media posts would come back to haunt him. Robinson had his own concerning post from back in 2020 when he was just 18 years old. Next to a video of a weapon being fired, he wrote, "On God, Jamia Lawson, play with me." Looking back, that post feels like a warning. A young man already showing signs of the kind of temper that would eventually explode in that apartment at Lakeshore Ridge. Now let's talk about what actually happened on that Wednesday night. According to investigators, Beverly was inside the Lakeshore Ridge apartments with Jamia Lawson. Some reports suggest he may have entered through the balcony to avoid being seen on the Ring camera, though this hasn't been officially confirmed. What we do know is that Robinson came home from work earlier than expected, and when he walked into that bedroom, he found Beverly, a married man, nearly 40 years old, in bed with his girlfriend. What happened next lasted only moments, but the consequences will last forever. Robinson retrieved a weapon. Not just any weapon, but one equipped with what's called a switch, an illegal modification that allows rapid firing. Beverly was struck multiple times and died at the scene. Jamia Lawson made the 911 call. When officers arrived, they found Beverly unresponsive in the bedroom. Robinson didn't run far. Police arrested him right there in the apartment parking lot. He was charged with murder and unlawful possession of a firearm conversion device. He's currently being held in Jefferson County Jail with no bond. But here's where this story gets even more complex, because while Beverly's family, his students, and his colleagues were mourning the loss of a man they considered a mentor and a positive force in the community, the internet had a very different reaction. According to the uncle, Beverly had told Jamia that he was, quote, unhappy with his wife.
See, you don't know S. My niece had to get a second job. Maybe she didn't know all of this would have happened, but his grown A knew better. Don't blame the child, the niece who was 21 years old, when he was 39, and he was also unhappy with his wife. That's not my niece's fault.
This suggests that Beverly wasn't just having a casual fling. He was potentially trying to build something more serious with this young woman. Remember, Beverly returned to Parker High School as a coach in 2020. Jamia Lawson was a student there, and she would have been approximately 16 years old at that time. Beverly was 34. Now, we have no evidence that anything inappropriate happened while she was a student, but the optics looked terrible. So the question is, when did this relationship really begin? Was there grooming involved? How does a former student end up in a relationship with her former coach just a few years after graduation? These questions got even louder when people realized Beverly's nickname was Coach Meat. Some found that ironic, given the circumstances. Others found it disturbing. Now, still with so many unanswered questions, the football coach's cousin had briefly spoken on social media. After all the backlash that her cousin was getting, she cleared some things up. Check out about 5 minutes of this 30-minute live.
Charges have been. But guess what? Charge of foul. And that boy had that switch on him. Right. Fuck y'all talking about. Down for some. Somebody got to speak for him. Ain't no free nothing. Get what? We still gonna say free him, cause like I said, I'm praying for his family too. You know why? Cause that girl put my cousin in a fucked up situation. Though. Get what? You don't know what that family did. Wait a minute, Toy. Wait a minute. We seen a lot of shit. Wait a minute. Let me say this, cause I'm damn near 40. I'm a real bitch. Get what? I'ma pray for his family. What? I ain't gonna do that, Toy. I'm a real. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I'm a real. I'm a real. Get what? Get what? I'm 10 for tattoo to a certain. I got common sense. So get what? Get what? I'm gonna pray for his family too. You know why? That God put my cousin and that boy in a situation. Praying for his family too, cause it's fucked up. I'm a y'all fucked up and thought that boy was gonna get off on. I been knew. Why y'all think I been sent back? We been talking to the detective. We already knew what was up. Why y'all think I ain't been saying it for real? Cause I already knew. That's why I been sent back. Y'all been dogging my cousin out. Y'all been sharing him and his wife. Them folks not confrontational. They don't do Facebook. Y'all talking all that shit. Talking about that girl love her husband. Through all of, yeah, she's hurt. Yeah, she hurt, but get what? She's a real. She know how this shit go. Right. Y'all know how this shit go. Hold on. I ain't got to share. Yes, I do. Y'all shit go. Y'all niggas be cheating. Y'all fuck with married niggas. I know plenty. Hold up, Toy. Just please let me pop my shit for my cousin. Get what? Y'all all be trying to act like y'all loud. I'm on here looking jet. This right here the real me. I don't give a. Y'all been hurting my feelings all day. My cousin me and Sade, like my brother and sister. I've been watching y'all dog my cousin out all day long. Hurt my feelings. But get what? I ain't shut up still. I just been looking and watching. Cause I already knew. Y'all on Clubhouse saying, Dare take them to the store, please. Y'all on Clubhouse saying, oh, a dead man can't talk. Y'all on Clubhouse saying, Oh, she gonna stand with her nigga. But guess what? Guess who she stand with? Guess who she stood with? The dead nigga. Guess who she stood with? Guess why that boy got that charges? She stood with the dead nigga. My cousin is a good nigga. He just made a bad choice. Y'all dead ass wrong for that.
Now, the alleged female that is the cause of all this have deactivated her Facebook page.
After everything that happened, after Robinson was arrested and Beverly was dead, Jamia Lawson deactivated.
So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people in the wrong in this situation. For one, it shouldn't have happened. Of course, that's the obvious. But me, I'm 36, about to be 37, and so as a man, off the rip, like you can't be going to girls' houses, especially when she got a man. Like that's whether they together or not. Like you at any given point that this guy can pop up. You know what I mean? So it's like for one, that's what I blame him for. It's like, come on, man, you should have known better for that. Two, yeah, she was wrong. She shouldn't have been cheating. That's the obvious, of course. But people do it, and when you do it, you just gotta, understand what come with it. And the guy that was happening to, what I'm saying, he in a tough situation. He was wrong as well. You know what I mean? Was he hurt? Probably, yeah. But at the same time, it's just like, what I'm saying, when somebody ain't treating you how you want to be treated and stuff, yeah, man, just walk away. Sometimes that's the best option is to just walk away. But now you know what I'm saying, he put his life in jeopardy for making a decision, a bad decision at a bad time. So, what I'm saying, I feel sorry for all three people, but most importantly, what I'm saying, it's the families that have to really go through the worst part of it, especially the coach, his wife and family and stuff. Which I can't remember if it said he had kids or not, but let's finish checking out the video.
Her Facebook page. But before she did, she allegedly made posts that seemed to show more loyalty to Beverly than to her own boyfriend, who was now facing murder charges. Robinson isn't just charged with murder. He's also facing unlawful possession of a firearm conversion device, that switch I mentioned earlier. This is a federal offense, and it's what many people believe will destroy any chance he has of claiming this was a crime of passion or self-defense. See, if Robinson had used a regular weapon, his lawyers might have been able to argue that he came home, saw another man in his bed, and reacted in the heat of the moment. That's a classic crime of passion defense that has worked in similar cases. But that switch changes everything. It allows a weapon to fire rapidly, multiple times, in quick succession. To prosecutors, that suggests this wasn't just a momentary lapse in judgment. This was excessive force. And the fact that he had an illegal weapon modification suggests premeditation or at least a pattern of dangerous behavior. Legal experts are saying Robinson could be looking at decades in prison, not just for the shooting, but for the federal weapons charge that comes with that switch. Meanwhile, people are still debating whether Jamia Lawson should face charges herself.
He should be a free man and his girl should be locked up because she was the accomplice in this. She was the reason it happened and she was the initiator, man. I don't care what nobody say. Arrest that girl. Arrest that girl, man, because without her, none of this would even happen.
Now, Beverly's wife didn't just lose her husband. She lost him in the most humiliating way possible. She found out about his death and his infidelity at the same time. Imagine getting that phone call. Your husband is dead, and by the way, he died in another woman's bed. The wife is now left to explain to their children why daddy isn't coming home. She's left to deal with the whispers, the social media posts, the community judgment. She's dealing with grief and betrayal simultaneously. Beverly's students at Parker High School are also struggling. These were young men who looked up to Coach Meat, who saw him as a role model, someone who taught them about discipline and making good choices. Now they have to reconcile the man they knew with the man who died in another man's bedroom. The timing made it even worse. Beverly died just 1 week before the Stop the Violence Classic, an annual game designed to promote unity and safer communities. The irony wasn't lost on anyone that a coach who preached about making good decisions became a victim of the very violence the event was meant to prevent. But here's what's really dividing the community: the question of who is most to blame.
If a man come home into his home and find another man in his motherfucking home, what do you expect that motherfucking man to do? This man was going to work, providing for his motherfucking family. Then he come home to a nigga in his motherfucking bed with his woman, and then that motherfucking man got a wife and kids at fucking home. He had other shit. He should have been the fuck at work. He had no motherfucking money for a hotel, bitch. You couldn't fuck her in the car? Bitch, fuck her at the, I don't know.
Agree with the
At the
hotel.
lake, he got a motherfucking woman at home. If she ain't enough for him, he need to get rid of her ass.
As this story continues to unfold in the courts, one thing is clear: this tragedy was completely preventable. If Beverly had stayed home with his wife and children, if Jamia had ended her relationship before starting something new, if Robinson had walked away instead of reaching for a weapon, any one of those different choices could have prevented this devastation. But they didn't make those choices. And now we have a dead coach, a young man facing life in prison, a widow trying to pick up the pieces, children without their father, and a community forced to confront some uncomfortable truths about respect, accountability, and consequences. People need to stop using excuses for bad behavior. Everything we do, good or bad, has consequences. Remember that Beverly's old Facebook post? She said she got a boyfriend. I say, so you want another one? LOL. Wasn't just a joke. It was a mindset that other people's relationships didn't matter, that boundaries were suggestions, that he could take what he wanted without consequences. For 13 years, that mindset served him just fine, until the night it didn't. Now I want to hear from you. Was this a crime of passion that deserves sympathy, or was Robinson wrong for taking someone's life, regardless of the circumstances? Should Jamia face charges for her role in creating this situation? And what about Beverly? Was he a good man who made a bad choice? Or was this tragedy the inevitable result of years of disrespecting other people's relationships? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those stories where every perspective tells a different truth. And remember, one choice, one night, can rewrite everybody's future forever. Rest in peace, Demetrius Beverly, and prayers for everyone whose lives were shattered by the choices made that Wednesday night in Birmingham. So that's it for today's video. Stay safe out there, and I hope these stories help you recognize warning signs and encourage you to seek help or offer support before it's too late. I'll see you in the next episode of Crime of Passion. Thank you.
All right, so y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all jump in the comments and y'all talk to me. Tell me what y'all think. What would y'all do in this situation? You know, who you think was the person wrong in the situation? Do y'all understand, you know what I'm saying, what the Robinson guy, what he done? Um, yeah, y'all talk to me. Let me know what y'all think.